What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time it is, and welcome back to another video with The Lonely Bandit. So guys, I'm here to present to you guys another guide. I did one for the DayZ mod. It was basically about how to get geared in the safest way possible for those new players that, you sort of know the very basics of DayZ, but you're struggling to get gear and to get out there and explore. And this guy's going to help you out with that, because I'm doing this for standalone as well. I got a lot of good response on the last guide I did for DayZ mod. I'll actually include an annotation if you guys want to go have a look at that if you're interested, just to see what my thoughts were about the mod and the differences between the mod and standalone for this guide. So this is directed at somewhat new players. You probably have like around 50 hours or maybe a bit less or something. If you're a veteran, then you're welcome to keep watching this and let me know if you agree with this or not. It's up to you. I've got nearly 1,000 hours in standalone, over 2,000 in mod, so I don't know everything. Obviously, I'm not a fucking know-it-all, but it's just I feel like my experience could help a lot of people out there, so that's why I'm doing this. If you're not interested, that is totally fine. Anyway, let's get to the guide. Now, you're gonna want to be spawning in the Svetlo/Berezino area. So, the far northeast of the map, there's quite a lot of spawn points around there. You want to be spawning north of Berezino. You don't want to be in Berezino or south. If you're that far south, then this guide really is going to be a bit redundant because you just waste too much energy getting to where you need to go. Now you're going to be seeing a map up on screen right now. There'll be the East Coast and Northwest Airfield labeled, just to give you guys a bit of a reference to the area that this is in. Clearly the northeast part of the map. And the blue area is spawn point areas, so this is what you want to be aiming for. If you can't get that spawn like straight away, then you're just going to have to kill yourself, which 99.9 trillion % of DayZ players do. Literally, I've never seen a player not kill themselves for a better spawn, unless it's in roleplay, like in a roleplay scenario, but yeah, this is just for general gameplay. Keep killing yourself till you get this spawn up in this area. Now, what you want to be doing, if you spawn down towards Berezino, you want to follow that yellow arrow up towards the red highlighted area, which is the town of Olsha. Olsha is a really great town. It's got a lot of apple trees, surrounded by like heavy cover from houses and whatnot. So you're not in the open like you would be if you were doing it at Cherno or Berezino or something. There's several greenhouses, which like 9 times out of 10 you'll get a backpack from those. You can get some rope, you can get burlap sacks, and you can make a backpack from that. Olsha is also very good for providing just the basics like food and clothes and whatnot. There's a few deer stands around, which you guys will see in the footage of me looting the town right now. I thought I'd loot through the town and through the other areas all in one go, just to show you guys examples of what you can get. I did it on a populated server. I believe it was about 3/4 full, on a very, well visited server that, is fairly popular, so the loot is fairly realistic to what would be there normally on like any other popular server. The thing about Olsha as well is that there is a well in the center of town, so if you can't find drinks or if you're not finding food, combining that well with the apple trees right next to it, it might take you a little while to get enough apples, but it will keep you going. I actually had to do this for a little while. I did end up finding food further down the track, but like straight away, I just did it for about 5-10 minutes max. Got just a few apples just to keep me going, and then follow the yellow arrow to the west. Now, so you should be decent out of Olsha. You should have a backpack, you should have some decent clothes, maybe a gun. Guns aren't really that common at Olsha. Guns are at the next step. One thing to note, guys, is that Northeast Airfield is in the middle of that yellow arrow. I would suggest flanking north around in the trees or down to the south. North would probably be better, that way you stay up on the hills. Right now, Northeast Airfield is basically useless. The devs have stopped the spawns of all the military trucks on the airfield just for this patch. It might be coming back in 0.59, I'm not sure yet. And the buildings that are on it don't really provide enough gain for the risk, if that makes sense. So don't waste your time doing it, just head straight to the pink area that's been highlighted, which is Krasnostav. Now Krasnostav is a really big town. It's almost like a city. It just doesn't have many high-rises or anything like that. It sort of runs with the hill, going from east to west, and it's very steep in some areas, which is good because it makes it hard for people to camp the city. You won't really find many snipers in the hills surrounding the area, just because it's really hard to get a good line of sight on anywhere that is highly visited, which by the way, Olsha and Krasnostav aren't really highly populated. You don't see many players going through that. I've been through it like dozens of times in my time in DayZ, and I've only ever seen players there on standalone like a total of like 4 times or something. I mean, it's possible, but again, this is my idea of the safest place to get gear and get it efficiently. So across the south, you want to loot it from the southeast to the northwest corner. That way you can sweep up the hill, search every single house, which you need to do. You have to put in the time and the effort to search all the houses, all the sheds, loot the grocery store, the police station, and the field hospital that's in the northwest corner. And once you do that, you're basically set. You should get a weapon from this. I found at least 2 pistols. I didn't get a rifle at the time, but most of the times I've gone there, you'll find one. Even those pistols are more than enough to keep me going, to follow the other red arrows, which point to the south, west, and to the northwest, which are really the only proper ways that you want to leave this city. You don't want to head back east. East is PvP area. You gotta go, you're gonna die. Easy. This guide is about keeping you guys alive. So if you guys want to stay alive, you gotta move west, you gotta move inland, you'll get gear, you should be fine. It's very unlikely that you'll see anybody, and you'll just keep looting gear. For my final notes on this guide, I really emphasize patience. It's gonna take a while, at least like about a good 50 minutes to loot both Olsha and Kustava thoroughly. You really need to do it house by house just to make sure you get every single little bit. Because once you leave Kustava, towns until you get to like far northwest cities and stuff aren't really that amazing. So you need to get as much as you can. And another thing to note is that you need to prioritize. So you gotta have to collect as much ammunition as possible until you get a rifle that you're happy with, and then you want to prioritize getting ammunition for that rifle. So you need to balance having enough ammunition with enough food and drink to keep you going. Other than that, guys, my last thing is to say is think about what you're doing. Plan ahead what you're gonna do. If you're gonna head into Kustava, think about what area you're gonna approach from. How you're gonna loot the houses if you're on your own or if you're with a buddy. This, by the way, this guide is aimed at about 2 to 3 people max, like per squad or something. If you're rolling in higher numbers, then it doesn't really matter where you go, to be honest, because chances are you're gonna wreck whoever is in the area anyway. But regardless, plan out what you're gonna do. I'm gonna leave another link in the description about DayZ DB website. If you go to that, it will show you an up-to-date map of Chernobyl, which is the map that DayZ uses, and it should have most of the loot spawn points. It might not be up to date to the current patch simply because it doesn't get updated patch by patch. It might take a little while sometimes. Either way, the geography is spot on. Use that map if you're new to the game and you don't know where you're going, and it should help you get the spawn in the northeast and travel the rest of your way. Anyway, guys, I hope this guide was helpful to you guys somewhat. I feel like it should be to the new players, but anyway, I'm only going to know if you guys tell me. So let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything I should have added. And I'll be keeping guides like this up to date on how to get started in Standalone as updates come out, depending on the changes and whatnot. Follow my Twitter if you guys are interested in knowing when I'm uploading videos and whatnot. I'm very active on Twitter. I share a lot of things I find interesting, and I usually let everybody know when I'm going to make a video and what's to go just with my channel in general. So feel free to click that link in the description as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.